we chopping it up about today, my G?
So, I want to go sort of look on the other side. So like the shoe was on other foot sort of point, and talk about the social pressures on women to look a certain kind of way.
Okay.
So
elaborate.
So by elaborating, let me break it down to you to the molecular structure, as they say. Beauty used to be in the eye of the beholder, right? That was,
isn't it still?
Yeah. That's what it was supposed to be. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I deem is beautiful, you might deem, what you deem beautiful, I might go, right?
It's very unlikely.
I know. But then I think we've shifted to a point now where it feels like you can be beautiful, but just be beautiful the way we want you to be beautiful. So
who's we?
And we, it could be, at the moment, we is sort of like a Western idea of what beauty is, right? So if you look at the magazines, if you look at media, if you look at media and everything, as much as we try to raise awareness of diversity, it still comes down to the exact same thing. Beauty has to be a certain kind of box. When you think about it, it's ludicrous, right? But so I was thinking about this the other day, right? So take a magazine, take any of these women magazine, right? And think of the confusing messages that sometimes gets thrown in the exact same magazine. So on one page, it could be talking about self-love and how you go be yourself and what you call it, be confident in who you are. And literally on the opposite page, right next to that page is an advertising for a skin cream that's supposed to enhance your beauty, or a voluptuous, something to make your lips fuller. And it was like, those are two confusing, contrasting messages on the same page. And I'm thinking, as men, is there things that we can do to support our women to make, and also even to support ourselves as well? Because I'm sure this is not just what you call it, a woman issue as well, but predominantly it kind of is.
I think.
What do you think?
I mean, I think that problem is definitely out there. I think it's been prevalent all through, at least I say that, I mean, for a very long time, but I think more so over the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years in terms of just the rise of advertising. Well, advertising has always been huge, but I think more so now with the crossover of the internet. There's two sides to that, but I think, so therefore advertising and the techniques of reaching out to the target groups have completely changed from the forms of just buying a magazine and having that when you choose to buy a magazine and open it up, to you not having a choice now where everything that you scroll through, there's sponsored ads, there's intelligent ads that come from based on the products that you bought. So you're consistently bombarded with that. So it's even much more heightened. And obviously the psychological impact of that on the women is much more enhanced.
And also, do you feel that as humans, we program to put beauty in a box? Or is this something that we've created to make money?
I think as human beings, we have been programmed to function by having boxes in the societies that we live in. So therefore, anything that doesn't fit a box becomes problematic to our mind.
Yeah.
If you have the privilege as a person to be able to step out of that box, i.e. travel a little bit more, see that actually your context is only informed by your surroundings, then you start to deconstruct that idea. Because then if you're the type of person that then goes to, I don't know, South America, so therefore you see more curvier, voluptuous, tanned, browner women, and you see how that as a standard of beauty is something that is heralded as the heights of it. And then you go to Russia and you see that it's tall, skinny, blonde as their own
version of beauty.
And then you go to somewhere in Africa and you see. So when you start to make these connections that, wow, so there's not one absolute.
Yeah.
So therefore, this idea that has been sold to me from where I've grown up is only a version. And therefore, you have this kind of moment where the box just shatters and you think, wow, okay, so that's not just the beauty.
But does it shatter though? Does the industry and does the media allow us to shatter that box?
I mean, the thing is, it doesn't allow us to because it consistently reinforces that particular narrative. Because everywhere you go in the magazines, in the shows that you see on TV, for example, if you look at Love Island as a show, I don't really watch the show. I only see memes and see excerpts. I mean, I would like to say,
I know you got an app on your phone.
I would like to actually like to watch it from like a social experiment perspective, just to understand.
I'd rather jump off a cliff.
Just to understand it. Because I just think it's so fascinating, just the idea that, I mean, there's a reason why it's such a highly watched show, you know? And there's a reason why it's popular conversation every other, what evening does it show?
I think people just like sometimes to feel better about themselves.
Yeah, but then that's the interesting thing, that even if that's the reason, the fact that that has such a massive following and the fact that it reinforces all these things. Because if you see all the women in these shows, they look a particular way. Yeah. So it's through these mediums that these ideals of beauty are being reinforced. Because then if you also look at the men, majority of these men look a particular way. You know, there's no guy in there that has a bit of a belly. Yeah. There's no guy in there that looks...
So this ain't gonna work.
There's no guy in there who probably doesn't have tattoos and sleeves. There's no guy in there who doesn't... You know what I mean? There's like a particular look.
How do you know all this?
Bruv, I see all these excerpts of memes and things like that, you know, which just shows various things. So when something is trending, I often just want to see what's the root cause of that. You know, something might come up about Samira or whatever, and then Josh or something. I'm just like, who are these people? Why is this conversational? You know, then I look at it and I think, oh, okay, interesting. Because then I often feeds, it's like fodder for my thoughts. I'm just like, okay, why is there like a big hurrah about this? You know, so that's kind of how I tend to know what's kind of topical around this Love Island issue. So not just Love Island, you know, every other thing that's kind of created a mask for the purpose of mass consumption. You look at the representation of the types of women in there, you know. But then the beautiful thing though about the state of media consumption is that now people have platforms to create their own ways of representation. And then the onus is now on you as well. So there's a lot of people that have their own independent magazines. There's a lot of people that have their own, you know, independent kind of, you know, movie making sort of
celebrating themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So then they create the content that they want to see and change this narrative. Obviously, that's always going to be a minority in comparison to the big powerhouses that put money behind all these big campaigns, because ultimately they want to sell products. So the idea and the premise of products placement is to make you feel bad about yourself. So therefore you want to buy this thing that they're putting in front of you that would make you feel better. So therefore they try and create these things that they know are ultimately unattainable for the majority of people. So to look like these girls in Love Island and these sorts
magazines
of
and all these things,
majority of women don't look like that. And therefore, again, as men, we buy into that too. Because then we think, oh, that's what we want. You know, 9 times out of 10, they say they pull all these surveys. What are the kind of girls that men want to look at? They reinforce these stereotypes. Oh, people want to, you know, majority of men said, I don't know which woman, maybe Victoria Beckham is the kind of woman that they like to see.
Really?
I'm just throwing that one out there. Obviously, you clearly know it's not guys like us. But, you know, but those are the kind of polls that they put out there as well, whether they're doctored polls or whatever. But then they reinforce these narratives. Oh, so that's what most men want to see as well. So they just kind of...
Ladies, we don't want to see that. That's for sure.
I mean, not guys like us. You know, I don't know about the other guys out there.
That's very good. That's a good point. That's a good
so yes, I just think it's a two-edged sword. It's one, being able to empower people to realize or to consciously engage with the fact that all these things are not reality. And these things are put there to create a feeling of a less than.
Insecurity.
Exactly. And it preys on your insecurity. So even though these magazines talk about, you know, love yourself, and there's all these campaigns out there about, you know, love yourself and be who you are, you know, which is an incredible thing. But underneath that,
the action is completely opposite.
Exactly. So to be able to consciously engage with these things and think, you know what, yes, they're telling me that, but they're still feeding me this image. So I need to be able to disassociate both and realize, you know what, genuinely self-love is key. And whatever that means, we are also participants in this as well. Because we reinforce what women think they should be. So therefore we need to deconstruct that as well and realize, you know what? Why is it that we often want to just be with this type of woman as well? Is that also us kind of perpetuating that same narrative? And are we doing anything to empower these women? Because there's examples of, because everything is not just about, a woman trying to get with a guy, but there's instances where, a guy might go on a date with a girl and he might make a comment, about, I don't know, like, I don't think you should wear that, because I don't know if that, what's the word? I don't know if that flatters you or whatever.
Really?
Like,
that's a bold ass guy.
And there's even situations where guys who are actually in long-term relationships with their partners say things like that,
I suppose with that, I kind of get that one.
Oh, you
do? Because, coming from a very innocent place, as in, I'm sure you don't get all your outfits right every now and then, right?
I do.
Believe it or not.
I definitely do. I don't know about you, but I do.
So I'm sure.
Right for me, anyway.
Yeah, point to someone in the direction that you feel, maybe that's not the best outfit for today. If that's it, then that's fine. But if it's to belittle someone and make them feel a certain kind of way, then that's also a different thing.
But the thing is, can you be absolved of blame because the intention is not there? Because if I said something that made you feel bad about yourself, even I didn't intend to make you feel bad about yourself, but the comment was insensitive, should I be absolved of the blame?
So that's what I mean by what is the comment? If I've got on a jacket that doesn't look good on me,
but you wore the jacket because you think it looks good on you. Yeah, but you didn't ask for my opinion.
Sometimes, but if with a partner, I'm sure you probably ask for the opinion. And if you're someone for a contributor at a time, they give you your opinion regardless. And it might not necessarily be a negative, as in they want to poke you, but it might actually be, maybe go for that dark blazer or go for the red blazer. Because when the last time you wore that looked amazing. Do you know what I mean? So,
obviously
that is also contextual.
Exactly, absolutely. Because there are those kind of situations, and that absolutely, I get that. But then there are the others too.
If it's coming from a negative space, just to belittle someone, make someone feel awful about themselves.
But I don't even think sometimes it's I don't even think a lot of times it's deeply thought out in that way that I'm trying to belittle you.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, obviously there are a lot of partners who want to use that as a control stick to be able to make someone feel, less than. So therefore they would always put them down. But then there are just some partners that are just completely oblivious to the fact that they're also participatory in this way of making women feel much more self-conscious about
that's a good
the ways
point,
they express
because they're probably seen a magazine somewhere where they saw someone wear an outfit and in their mind that is sort of what they deem sexy to be.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Now you're definitely
absolutely.
right.
And I can speak for myself. I've definitely been conditioned over the years by that. And over the years, I've been really working hard to try.
I don't think I have,
You have been conditioned.
No, I don't think I have.
Really?
I actually got asked this the other day.
You don't think you have what?
Been conditioned to think beauty in a certain kind of way?
Okay.
Because I got asked this question: who was your celebrity crush, right? And I couldn't find any.
Yeah, neither could I. Really.
Yeah.
I struggled to do
that. Like the celebrities, don't get me wrong. I understand from an objective standpoint that they're beautiful, but they're not my kind of beauty.
Right.
So when she asked me that, I was like, I actually don't have a celebrity crush. And I wasn't even trying to be like, oh, cool, or like, I actually do not have a celebrity crush.
Yeah, but then the interesting thing though is the fact that being conditioned, it's not necessarily the fact, it doesn't only transpire in, the physicality of, say the type of woman that you go for. It's sometimes also just about the expectations of how you expect. Like, for example, we talked on the previous episode about makeup. Like the fact that you don't expect to see a woman putting a makeup on the train. That also, to me, that's a conditioned idea because we've not been seeing women do that from years ago. Yeah. So we're conditioned to think, well, you need to finish that off before I see you.
Because I think that's just
that's still etiquette. A conditioning.
No, that's just that's more of an etiquette in my that's sort of like me saying, when you blow your nose into a what you call it, into a tissue, and not just snort your snort out. I know it's a bit of an extreme comparison, but there's certain things that, in my point of view, are more etiquette. Because I'm not saying do not have it on your makeup. I'm just saying there's also time and places for certain activities.
Yeah, but that's because in this context, that's what you've known it to be.
Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with whether that person looks amazing in makeup or less so without makeup. I do not care
Because it's
about
really
that
interesting.
part.
For me, the reason when I started to really realize is when I went to spend, about 6 weeks in Ethiopia with those indigenous tribes down south. And I, was around a lot of women that walked around naked, and a lot of women who visually and aesthetically represented themselves in ways that were so
Strange to
alien
you,
to me.
yeah.
I was like, wow, why is this such a challenging
Yeah.
thing for me?
Yeah.
I realized how deeply I'd been associating beauty to a
Yeah.
particular
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for me to try and see these women in a completely
It's almost like you had to unlearn.
Exactly. And until that happened, I wasn't aware how deeply
Yeah.
conditioned
Yeah.
I was. And then when I came back as well, I was like, wow, like that was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
And I had to deconstruct why it was so crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I
And
feel
that's
you.
the crazy thing is, to those guys over there, that was their standard of beauty.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just, I think, because one of the reasons why I brought it up was, and the way, what we deem beautiful and calm as sort of like fused together. So about what? I would say, don't quote me on this, but about 5-6 years ago, Serena was world number one. So obviously, this girl has been killing in women tennis for, right? And Sharapova was probably in the top 10. But Sharapova was still earning more money than Serena.
Much more.
Way more. Why? Because they could sell it more in China, in the Asian market, because their standard of beauty was blonde, long legs, blue eyes. And that got me thinking that it's not even a black and white thing. This thing is seeped into all cultures.
But
where you go,
Is it not a black and white thing? Because can you remove colonialized kind of ideals from that? Can you remove the white supremacy structure from that?
But that's how important. That's why the media plays such an important part, because a place like China is a superpower, right? And they still go by that ideal of what the westernized beauty is.
Yeah, but they have always.
Yeah,
not always, but I mean, for the longest time, they still look up to white people.
And that's what I mean.
Which is the structure of white supremacy that has done that.
And that's what I mean by how media and the Western media has managed to seep their tentacles into such a vast array and a vast sort of distance, right?
Yeah.
From Africa all the way to Asia.
Right.
We still have in our mind what we deem beauty should be.
Absolutely.
From black women bleaching their skin.
Absolutely.
All the way to Asian women bleaching their skin.
Absolutely.
And you would think, really?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's the
this
exact same
idea
thing. Yeah.
of looking at whiteness as the perfection.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's no surprise that Sharapova was making not even close.
It was not close. At that point, at that time, when I read it, I was like, what? And Sharapova could not beat Serena.
Right.
If Serena had an arm tied behind her back.
I'm telling you. So the
And she
fact
was
that
still,
she was cashing
Yeah.
like completely incomparable.
it was incomparable.
Absolutely.
And I was like, whoa. And all from a Western standard of beauty.
Absolutely. And
Talent went out the window.
Exactly. And it's really, and obviously she definitely she cashed in on that because
Yeah.
she knew that too. And she obviously played
It's
that
not her
game too.
fault.
Of course
At the
not.
day, because you cannot, as they say, hate the player. At the end of the
Exactly.
day,
You gotta hate the game.
Yeah, you just gotta hate the game and you gotta cut off the game's
that's,
head.
and that's what it is. And I can imagine that she's dealt with so much,
Hell yeah.
Serena, in
Yeah.
that space
Yeah.
of those people. I'm sure she's heard comments of people say certain things.
As recently as I feel last year, she got ridiculed by another tennis player. She
Was it McEnroe? Did he say something?
no, it wasn't Michael. It was a female tennis player. I forgot the name, and she was mimicking her by putting stuff and a bomb and putting
Well, as a joke.
as a joke. So I think she actually got suspended. Yeah.
Imagine that. And
And
now
this-
everyone wants to get butt implants and all these things.
And this, I'm not talking a long time ago. This is like last year. That's how recent it was.
But then the interesting thing about that is then, we might not delve into it very deeply today, is the fact that it's so interesting that those features that she's been mocked
Yeah.
for is what all these, there's a trendification
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
type, but
Yeah.
not on a
Yeah.
black body.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
women with
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah.
butts.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
girls are
Yeah.
getting all these
Yeah.
butt implants. They want
Yeah.
women with fat lips. But
I know you want to mention one family
I'm
name,
gonna
right?
resist that. I'm not gonna do that. This is not a witch hunt.
You so want to.
But there is that, you know, where that is cool, that is trendified, but not when it's on
the people that it belongs
exactly,
to, right? Yeah.
you know. So it's just really interesting. I think in terms of from our take, my take anyway, I would say one of the ways that I would say we can try and combat that is just to promote self-love. And I mean the idealist version of it. I mean, even the other day, there was a friend of mine, or a friend of a friend, who, you know, she did a post which went really viral about just waking up in the morning and just like completely having no makeup on. It's such a simple thing.
Yeah.
But she showed a version of herself that she had not previously really showed on her social media. And it went really viral about just her showing her real self.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of people that take no makeup selfies and they really aren't no makeup selfies. You know, but genuinely, you know, she did a video of herself.
I woke up like this with like
Exactly.
ton of filters.
And I think it's important for people like that who have a large following as well to take active steps to try and deconstruct the ideal of, like, you know, a woman is only beautiful when she looks like this. A woman is only beautiful when you look like that. You know, and there's other things like, you know, there's something that happened over the weekend called the Real Catwalk Show, which is, you know, women of all different sizes, women who look different ways, disabled women who, all of that, you know, just celebrating that could also be a beauty and ideal that we should also look at as a normalized ideal, as opposed to this, you know, this unachievable, hyper westernized white narrative of what beauty is, and just having the power within ourselves to challenge that. And as men, I think also to be able to just, because this shouldn't be about validation, and this shouldn't be about, you know, because everyone should just find self-love and find a way to harness that. But importantly, we also play a role, you know, in how we compliment people and genuinely give them compliments that make them feel good about themselves, you know, as opposed to, you know, make those comments that are off the cuff sometimes, and we don't think deeply about how these things could also reinforce people's insecurities. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's that. That's what I think.
No, because I think, you're absolutely right. And I think we as people, we need to stop infighting as well, right? So I think we all, and that goes to that self-love thing that you've preached today. We need to accept who we are and love who others are also. Because I think sometimes we get to the point where, okay, I'm stocky, so
are you?
No, I was just paraphrasing. So if I was stocky and someone was slim, I cannot throw shade at the person who's slim being themselves. Do you know what I mean? And same way, if that slim person throws shade at someone who is skinny for being themselves, if you throw shade at someone who is skinny because maybe you're curvy, then you're giving that person the right to also throw shade at you for being curvy. Do you know what I mean? We need to accept one another for who we are and understand the whole point of beauty is being unique. If I saw 100 people look like me, I'll be very depressed. That would actually be one of my worst nightmares.
Have you been on Oxford Street?
Yeah.
Every other dude
I'm
looks
always
like
there.
you, bro.
And there's like no one. Actually, find it very so when someone comes to me and go like, I saw someone that looked like you. You might as well spat in my face. Like, what?
Really? That actually makes...
It aggravates me.
Why?
Because I just like looking at anyone else. Like, so for me, beauty is about being unique. It's about owning who you are and finding your own niche in this beautiful world that we are in. Why would you want to look like anyone else? Why would you want anyone else to look like you? Don't get me wrong, if someone looks like you, fine. I hate it, but fine. But why would you go out of your way to go, oh, I want that same lips as that person there? Right. That person's had that lip because it looks good on them because they grew up with that. Maybe they've enhanced it, maybe, but that is theirs. That's why they look beautiful. Find what makes you beautiful and own that. And you will be as beautiful as you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. I think in the ideal world, I hope that's where most of us get to. But that's the reason why, you know, advertising and media has the most powerful has the most powerful impact in that regard. Because when you go to stores, all the mannequins, everything that they put on it, they make you feel like that's what's cool, that's what's ideal.
That's the size you need to be in to wear that outfit.
So therefore, everybody just copy and paste because now Rihanna showed up in an interview or showed up in a music video looking like that. The magazines have done so many shoots of people that look like that, wearing those kind of things, and then all the stores and the brands get things that look like that, and all of a sudden everyone looks like the same because that's what's cool, that's what's trendy, and that's it. You know,
my definition of cool, and this is something that hopefully we will tackle again. But my definition of cool is to be so different from everyone else.
Absolutely, I agree. But that's something we definitely will have to chop up properly later. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, I agree. I think it's all about self-love, and I just think, you know, whatever we need to do to empower people to love themselves more, then we need to also, you know, do our own bit as men as well. But
I think, ladies, you got to understand, as men, we will, if you lead, we will follow. Do you know what I mean? Like, we would do our best, but I think we all have to start from somewhere. And like you said earlier, it's not an issue that's only female issue. It's also a male issue as well. Where we go through that as well. It's not as we will not insult women by going it's as much as women because society sometimes can be double standard that way. So it's something that we can all try to grow from and be more self-aware as well.
Absolutely. I feel you.